Hi, Kevin Martin here, and our guest today is Mr. Fritz Eckstein, Region Manager for Great Plains College. Welcome, Fritz.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be part of this project.
Thank you. Well, we're happy to have you here. So your title is Region Manager.
Indeed.
Right. So, and exactly what is, or who is Great Plains College, and what do you do?
Now, Great Plains College is a college that consists of 7 locations from Kindersley. I mean, obviously you're familiar with Kindersley campus, Kindersley, Rosetown, Bicker, Martinsville, Warman, all the way down to Swift Current, and then Maple Creek.
Oh,
So we basically, our service area is 100,000 square kilometers,
wow.
and we are going from the US border all the way up to Unity and over to Warman.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite large.
It's quite an extensive area.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
And our mandate is we respond to labor market needs and industry needs in our training offerings.
Right. Okay. So now this series of interviews that we're doing, it's on entrepreneurship. So is post-secondary education really important to entrepreneurship?
Let me answer this in 2 ways. It really depends what kind of business you would like to open up.
Okay.
So if it's a technical, for example, I'm thinking of our electrician program.
Right.
If you want to be an electrician, self-employed electrician, it is definitely an advantage or a must, right, to have post-secondary education or an apprenticeship certificate,
Right.
just to meet the regulatory requirements of the industry.
Makes sense.
The other point I would like to make, it is not necessarily that you have to have a post-secondary education to open up a business,
Right.
but of course I'm biased. I would highly recommend that you do.
And looking into all things, that would be the wise move to do.
Indeed.
Absolutely. So even to be an entrepreneur, I guess you don't always need a post-secondary education?
No, you don't. But let me give you an example. I will just assume that you're not a runner.
Okay.
So, but if I would say to you today, Kevin, they're giving out beautiful gold medals if we run a half marathon. Let's do that tomorrow.
Okay.
The objective, the goal sounds really lofty. Great. There's a reward.
Yes.
However, the reality is, if we don't train and if we don't prepare for this, you and I would probably not make it very far. Is this correct?
I would agree with you, yes.
And so if I would relate this back to entrepreneurship, I think as more you can prepare yourself for your future occupation or for the goal that you have, the better it is.
No arguments with you on that one.
Well, thank you.
Right on.
Easy to get along with, Kevin.
Yeah. So what do you think really is required to be an entrepreneur?
Really good question. What is required? Again, when you look at the word entrepreneur itself, right? It's an undertaking from the French word entrepreneur, undertaking. Okay. So this is not like undertaking in the literal sense of a funeral home director, but it's an undertaking of risk and initiative with a potential of financial gain. So when you look at risk itself, in my mind, you want to reduce the risk. And the reduction of this risk would mean that you prepare yourself, in particular with soft skills. You don't have to be an expert on, you may have a financial advisor or something, but you should have a working knowledge.
Yes.
The soft skills, on the other hand, in my mind, are a must to have. Soft skills, emotional skills, however you want to call them, from problem solving to teamwork to being able to evaluate situations, conflict resolutions. All of those things that we take for granted are very important if you want to open up your own business.
That's true. And even though you could hire someone to do that for you, at least when you're starting out, you're going to have to wear all those hats until you get to that point where you can hire somebody.
Yeah, indeed. And you have to have some foundation. And I just want to, for example, let's look at customer service.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want to sell a product, you better know how to deal with people. And if you are not able to deal with people because you're known to be a very complicated and complex person,
Right.
you're your business may not succeed.
And then if that's the case, you should be working in the back room then without people.
Exactly. So
Absolutely.
it is important to train, to prepare, to minimize the risk for your own good. And I was recently looking at a study. Whoever Day is, the study
Yes.
indicated that 50% of businesses, new startups, will not make it past 5 years.
Wow.
So that is an incredible high number. So whatever you can do to prepare yourself to not be part of those 50% who don't succeed,
Right.
the better it is.
Yes.
And that's where post-secondary education comes in.
And I think some in the beginning, they may just bite off more than they can chew, thinking they can do it. And then realizing they may not have the financial resources, they may not have the education, they may not have whatever. And that may be one of the reasons, or some of the reasons why they're not successful.
Yeah.
That's too bad. That's a high percentage.
It is a high percentage, but we all have seen, and even in our community, that some people just don't succeed.
True enough.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So education is important, I guess, to be an entrepreneur. Some, a fortunate few maybe, have been successful and not been very well educated, but those kind of situations are few and far between.
Yeah.
Whether that's good or not, I don't know, but they've been able to overcome whatever difficulties they have, regardless of what their lack of education, I guess I should say. So, what programs or resources does the college offer that future entrepreneurs should consider?
In Kindersley, for example, or in numerous of our locations, we offer the administrative assistant program, and we have seen quite a few people who, out of this as a foundation, opened up successful businesses. So that would be one. We also offer a variety of programs. I'm just thinking of adult basic education to the pre-trade programs, certificates, diplomas, even a master's of business administration.
Wow.
Skills and safety training, and micro-credentials. So micro-credentials is basically, they're short courses that meet a specific need. And I think for entrepreneurs, for example, this would be a really good way to study up on what are human resource principles that you should know? What are the basic financial principles that you should know?
I see. Okay.
So yeah, we offer all this, and there's a variety of courses that people can take to prepare themselves and minimize risk.
So your micro
credentials,
is that like a course in itself, or can you just take out the parts that you're not strong in?
You can. There's a variety of programs. These are one course offerings, and there's numerous, literally hundreds, and these are all online, but help the learner to prepare themselves.
It seems like online learning is pretty much the norm now, partly because of COVID, I think, but I think in general, people were getting away from going and sitting in a classroom. Personally, from my experience, I prefer, I guess because I'm old school, I prefer having a teacher in front of me instead of on the computer. How is that working out today?
I would only partially agree with it. We find that the face-to-face delivery is still a preferred delivery. And we as Great Plains College are actually fortunate through COVID that we are still able to do face-to-face delivery. We just had to reduce our class sizes and do more of a blended learning style. So yes, the short courses, the micro-credentials, they're all online. And definitely a great tool to prepare yourself.
So are pretty much all the courses offered at Great Plains online, or some where you have to come into the college itself?
I would say most of our micro-credentials are online. The majority of our courses are face-to-face delivery.
Oh, still
blended. Yeah. And blended because of COVID right now.
Right. Okay.
So,
makes sense.
Yeah.
How does our listening public and listening audience get a hold of you to find out more about the programs?
Our website is greatplainscollege.ca, and you can always call us at one of our 1-800 numbers, and we will certainly advise and help you to start your educational journey with us.
That's awesome. Have you any final words or last words, I guess, to say for today on our subject?
No, I just want to maybe repeat some of the courses, post-secondary education, apprenticeship, you cannot go without. If you want to be in trades, that is going to be your route to become self-employed.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
If you have great dreams and we want to support these dreams,
Yes.
my recommendation would be to prepare for those, to reduce the risk, so you're not one of those 50% startup business that fail within the first 5 years.
Right.
And learn. I also am a strong advocate of continuous learning. So even if you are in your business, study up and keep current on trends and requirements.
Because you're right, things change, and if you're not keeping up on it, you could be behind.
Yeah.
And you certainly don't want that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is a challenging world, and
It is.
we need to prepare for that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time today.
You're
Fritz.
more than welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for having me.
You betcha.